So as you watch this video and you read the title, you watch the thumbnail, all the stuff, you might think this has to be clickbait. There is no way you can retire in 10 years with $1 million with having, for example, just a $25,000 per year income. It's not possible. It's not doable. The answer is, I promise you one thing, this video is not clickbait. And it is actually possible to retire with over $1 million if all you have is a $25,000 a year income and you never have to invest any more money after those 10 years, okay? That's how crazy this is, but it's actually very possible. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to get it done. As you probably see this video, it's not that long. Because most things in life, when they're true, they tend to be very simple. So I don't have to extend this video, but it does not mean it is going to be easy. Keep that in mind. And as always, guys, like this video on top of also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified. It helps a lot with the channel. That's why I asked, so do me a favor and smash the like button on this video. Now, the very first thing, guys, is here's the basic thing I would try to set up. Again, this is what I would do, not financial advice. I don't want to get sued, all right? First things first, I would open up a Roth IRA and also a normal traditional brokerage account. And I would open up these accounts with Vanguard. And my only investment would be into the S&P 500. Tommy, you just said a lot of things. If I am brand new and I don't understand investing, it's too much. Can you break things down? Well, first of all, a Roth IRA is an individual retirement account, but it gives you tax advantages, but the point is you get to invest your after-tax dollars. So once you get paid money, you pay tax on it, you can invest that money, it grows tax-free, and when you take that money out, you don't have to pay any taxes on it. Difference from a pre-tax account is basically you get paid before you pay taxes, you invest that money, and then later on you pay taxes, but the point is you need all your money later. You don't have to get that benefit today. That's the point. Okay, now a normal brokerage account is just you put money in there, you know how that works. Okay, now I choose Vanguard because Vanguard is one of the biggest companies, one of the oldest companies. They have great customer service and I love them, okay, because I can trust them. Now I would only invest my money into the S&P 500, which is an index fund that holds, for example, the 500 largest companies in the US, because the only way I don't make money is if the US collapses, and if the US collapses, the whole world collapses, because basically we're so intertwined. So I fail, everyone fails. Now, obviously, when you invest this way, you will have massive ups, you will have massive downs. That does not mean you need more investments to diversify. It means you need to calm yourself down and just adjust, okay? Understand what you're investing into is for the long term. That's one thing. Now, on top of that, if you have a normal, traditional job and they're giving you, for example, a match, here's what I would invest into exactly, the exact way I would distribute my money. First, I would try to get the maximum amount of free money from my job. Talk to HR, your boss, whoever it is, and say, hey, I know you're giving me a match 100%, but up to how much? The amount is $3,000. I'm going to invest $3,000 and get $3,000 of free money every single year. The rest of the money I have to invest, I'm going to put into my Roth IRA. If I have any more money left over, I'm going to put it into my normal brokerage account. That is the idea. Now, there is one more thing I want you to do right now before you continue this video. I want you to take the number 80 and subtract it from your actual age right now. So this basically means, okay, right now, if you take the number 80, subtract it from your age right now, for me, that gives me about 54 years. That is 54 more years of investing that I actually have available. Now, this assumes that basically I'm going to live for 80 years, okay? Well, let's make this even more simple. Let's not use what you live for, because that's also a trajectory for how long you'll be investing, because you should always be investing. Let's instead use, for example, your retirement age. So let's say 65 years is when you want to retire. And you minus your age. In my case, I have 39 more years of investing. That's the core idea. But don't forget, I'm only telling you, you'll only need to invest for 10 years and then you never have to put a dollar again in your investments, which is true. Just watch this video till the very end. But have this number, 65 minus your age. What does it give you? Hold that number because we're going to use it right now. All right. So now the second part of this video is this. In order to make this plan work, you're going to have an extreme savings rate of 50%. Basically saying you're going to have to learn how to live on half of your income and invest the other half. That is what this actually requires. So if I make $25,000 a year, I'm gonna have to learn how to live on $12,500 a year. Before you say, Tommy, it's not possible, I'm clicking out of this video, the answer is, I could do this even living in New York, and here's how, right? This is a real example, not some BS example I'm making up, blah, blah. Real example, okay? I lived in New York for like 4 or 5 years. I spent less than this. However, here's the main idea. If I have my budget, which by the way, obviously for this, you're gonna need a baseline budget that includes shelter, utilities, groceries, transportation, the core stuff, nothing else. So this means, it basically means, okay, you have shelter. How do you do this, okay? Because again, your budget is $12,000, $500, okay? $12,500. So in this case, $12,500 divided by 12, that's about $1,041. How do you do this? If an apartment is like $1,200, the answer is, it's simple. Here's how you do it. First of all, in this case, you would not be able to afford an apartment. In this case, I could afford a room. Again, the idea is off of $25,000, but most people make like $40,000, $60,000. So most people just have to save half of that. So that could be like you can live on $20,000 or on $30,000 or on $40,000. Okay, that's the idea. But in this case, I'm being extreme just to show you how possible this actually is. In this case, I would rent a room for around $600 in New York in the Bronx. Okay, how do you know that's true, Tommy? Because I lived with my mom and we would rent a room out to someone for $600 a month. So I know those rooms are available. Not just my mom, but just the entire thing overall, okay? In the market, you can get a room for $600. Is it comfortable? No, it's possible. Groceries, I would only spend $200 a month. Tell me that's not enough. The answer is rice and beans and chicken breasts. All right, it is very doable. Is it what you want? No, you probably want variety. You want to go out to eat. I don't care. That's what you actually get. Now, on top of that, utilities, cut them all out. Just have, for example, your phone bill, 15 bucks a month for a very average plan. That's fine. Even $10 a month. I've heard about those plans, okay? You just use Wi-Fi. Cut out Netflix, everything else. Then, as far as transportation, in this case, I could just get a Metro card and pay $127 a month to get unlimited train rides or just buy a bike and skip that in the first place. If I live somewhere where I need a car, simple. Just buy a beater card for $1,000 or $2,000 in cash, spend money on gas insurance. That's basically it, okay? That is the core idea. In this case, I would only be spending, with this budget, somewhere around $942, which would leave me $100 per month to have fun. That includes going out to the movies, getting something from Amazon, or just doing something, okay? $100 per month. Now, that is what I'm telling you. The overall goal is for 10 years, you're going to live on half of your income and save the other half. And not just save, you're going to actually be investing. And whenever you have a Roth IRA, you don't just want to send the money over there. You want to pick your investments and actually put that money to work and buy the investments. Because some people just leave the money in there. That is not what you want to do, okay? Now, number 3 is, Tommy, all right. What are the actual numbers here? How do I know this is actually going to work? Well, here's the answer. The average return on the market for the past, for example, few years or so, has been around 11.97%. That's the return on the S&P 500. Now, if we lower that to 10%, here's the math. If I got a 10% return on my $12,500 I'm actually investing every single year, after 10 years of investing, I'm going to have a whopping $199,000 in total. That is a lot of money, right? In 10 years to actually have. Now, just off of $25,000 a year, and I'm living on half, investing the other half, how powerful it is to actually be frugal and save a bunch of money just for 10 years. Now, if I made it to $199,000, and I said, I never want to invest any more money again. Well, what does that mean? Okay, well, remember, guys, okay, remember when I told you to grab that number? Again, 65 minus your age. In my case, it would be 39. Now remember, I spent 10 years investing already, so minus 10, that gives me 29 more years to invest. Well, if I have $199,000 at a return of 10% for the next 29 years, well, in 29 years, that $99,000 without a single more dollar invested, okay, would give me a whopping $3.1 million by the age of 65 when I actually retire. That's how powerful this actually is. Now, here's the truth. This is just one piece of the puzzle. To be able to live on half of what you make, you have to be usually debt-free. You have to have a good, steady emergency fund to make sure if something goes wrong, you can still continue to do what you want to do. And to invest that money, you have to be confident in your investments. So I recommend a book called The Little Book About Common Investing by John C. Bogle. But don't worry about all of the other diversification to lower the volatility. Volatility does not equal risk. Volatility is just when the market goes up and down. No. Overall, the market goes up every single time when you take a look at its entire history, okay? In the long term, you're not going to lose money most of the time, potentially. We haven't done it yet, so that's what I'm saying, potentially. But things happen in life, okay? But the point is, just in 10 years, you can have $199,000 invested. If you never invest again, just leave that money in there, you will have $3.1 million 29 years later. The average person, they're not making $25,000, they're more like making $40,000. So you're able to invest $20,000. You can actually have a lot more by the time in 10 years or whatever, meaning you'll have even more money when you actually retire. The goal is, okay, is not to say, well, Tommy, I thought this video was just basically 10 years, have $1 million. That's unrealistic because you didn't even make $1 million in those 10 years, right? So it's ridiculous. In those 10 years, you just basically made $250,000 and you have $200,000 in your investments. That's pretty awesome, right? You have basically all the money you've made. That's like unforeseeable. So that's a powerful thing already. Now, here's one other option that I actually want to give you because this is possible, but it's a little bit more different. If you have $200,000 already in those 10 years, here's another crazy idea, okay? Most people don't think about this, but I'm going to give it to you guys who's made it all the way to the end of the video. If you have $200,000 already in your investment account and you follow the 4% rule, which basically means take out 4% of your investments every year and you use that as passive income, the answer is, well, multiply by 0.04. This gives you around $8,000. That's a lot of money, right? $8,000. Now, if you can take out $8,000 in passive income from your investments and you're able to live on $12,500, the answer is you just need to basically make another $4,500 a year by working, and you're basically able to retire right then and there. Like, just work part-time, make this much money. By the way, $4,500 divided by 12 is the equivalent of making like $375 a month. Divided by 4 per week, you got to find a way to make $100. Is that hard? You can make $100 in 3 days doing Uber. Okay, that's the idea. So if you did want to semi-retire, you could do that. Like literally, like just like take the passive income 4% every year, just work a little less. You're able to have a lot more free time. That's fine too. But what I'm saying is, you could basically work on. By the way, I would not want that lifestyle because that's like pretty hard, right? But what I'm saying is, you could work hard for 10 years. Invest that much money, and then boom, you're good. That's set. That's taken care of. But it's obviously other parts. Like, what about my mortgage? What about my house? I actually want to own a home. Well, the same idea applies. When you buy a home where you can actually afford to pay it off in 15 years or less, where it's no more than a third of your monthly income, and you basically put all the extra money towards paying this home off as fast as possible. If you do the same rule of like half, you're able to pay this thing off even faster. And that's powerful too. So there are multiple ways to get this done. Is actually very possible, but there's one thing that you need to do. That's basically sacrifice a lot and stay consistent. And 10 years might not seem like a long time compared to 45 years of work, but it is a lot of work when you're thinking about 10 years. It's a lot of time, right? Living that way. But you know, it's very doable. If you make like $6,000 a year, you live on 30. It's a decent apartment, decent lifestyle for a while. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. And you could have a mortgage within that budget too. And instead of doing 50%, you can do 30%. You know, you can get there in a little bit more time, but you get there a lot faster than the average person. There's a lot of ways to get this done, okay? And that's what I'm not, that's why I'm not kind of like being like super forceful on one exact way, all right? So think things through, run the numbers, use a compound calculator, watch more videos of my channel, and that way we can actually get a bigger basis. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Up here is another video. Over here is my face. Subscribe. And as always, long-term team officially.